forecast brought to you by Cedar Memorial. Learn about the gift of pre-planning at cedarmemorial.com. Cloudy through mid-morning, then gradual clearing with a high of 57. 41 right now. Speaking of pre-planning, we need to talk about this conference coming up. Tiffany O'Donnell.
This little 2-day thing coming up.
2-day thing. By the way, Tiffany O'Donnell, everyone.
Yay! Thank you. You know I like to come here just for the applause.
Well, yeah.
Everybody should start their day with a little bit of applause.
And I don't want to throw you under the bus, but sometimes you show up in a ball cap, which is great because you're so adorable.
You love me in a ball cap. Come on.
But you must be going straight to work from here.
I am going straight to work. Yeah. I'm a working girl now, working dayside now.
Let's talk about what work is for those who don't know.
Yes, Iowa Women Lead Change. It's just this fantastic organization, statewide, lucky enough to be based in the corridor. Yeah. And we have our 10th anniversary conference here. This is where it all started.
10?
Our 10th anniversary. I know.
Wow.
Crazy. And I know you've been an attendee. I've been an attendee. Yeah. I was a volunteer for years. And then 2 years ago was fortunate enough to get the call to come on board officially. So.
And maybe some important changes coming down the pipe too, right?
Absolutely. I know. Really exciting and terrifying all at the same time. As part of a succession plan, I'll be taking over for Diane Ramsey, who's our CEO.
Who's a force of nature.
Oh my gosh, she is. It's still hard for me to say those words, actually. Yeah. She'll be transitioning actually to a different role. She'll be focusing on one of our biggest initiatives, our statewide initiatives called Epic Corporate Challenge. So Diane is not going too far. But
she has a lot of gifts. One of them is she's one of those people, and there are some, not many, that you literally can't say no to somehow.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right.
She has this. Some people do. They have that way about it. It's like if they ask you to do something, you're like, yes, of course.
Absolutely.
What am I?
I hate to disappoint you. I would be letting you down if I said no.
You know, and you're right. And it's not just here. I mean, she has relationships everywhere, and makes things happen.
Collects the right people.
Yeah, I like to say that. And I've been at the University of Diane for 2 years.
Yeah.
Best education ever.
Well, so let's talk about the conference.
Yeah.
It's when and it's what?
It's coming up, actually, 2 weeks, I believe, from today.
2 weeks, 0 days, 16 hours, 18 minutes, and 5 seconds?
Not that anyone's counting. Okay. That's about right.
Okay.
April 26th and 27th.
Claire doesn't know where she parked, but she has all that for you.
I have the countdown.
I'm so grateful. I do, too. You and I are on the same page. But it's Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, April 26th and 27th.
What are we going to be doing?
Well, it's purely focused on leadership development and issues around that. So we've got almost 900 people so far signed up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so get your tickets now, by the way, at iwlcleads.org. But we've got keynote speakers, I mean, ranging from the former CEO of Chanel to a guy named Dr. Steve Robbins who talks about mindfulness. Mm-hmm. The first female Tomcat fighter pilot. Carrie Lorenz. I know, cool. She's phenomenal. The former president of Bank of America Wealth. I mean, women who have walked the walk of leadership and issues around that. We've got 2 Naval Academy professors who are there talking about the imperative of men to mentor women, because we have a men's track at the Women's Leadership Conference, because men have to be in on this conversation. So I'm glad I got to mention that. Men are entirely welcome and encouraged, and we actually have programming just for them.
Knowing that there are so many issues out there, what would be sort of the ones you're really kind of after right now? Not only in the conference, but just where we're at with women and leadership.
There's a common thread that I hear, and that's confidence. You know, women have it. I've often heard people say, God forbid women find out how much power they actually have, because look out. You know, it's there, and it's ready and waiting to happen. But I think there are cultural forces in play that we place upon ourselves, and there are some unconscious bias, in corporate structures sometimes. And, the smartest companies know.
Not to mention some conscious bias.
And there, sadly, yeah, that exists too, which still surprises me, but it really does.
But the unconscious stuff is so complicated. Yeah. It's really hard to unpack everything, which is why you do need to focus on it, and why you do need to make strategies, and why you do need to bring attention to stuff, because a lot of times, it being unconscious, you don't know it's happening sometimes.
You don't. And that's, I'm not about quotas. I'm not about any of that. Everybody wants to be at the table because they've earned that spot and they deserve it. But one thing that we all need to do is be intentional about looking for people who don't look like us. Yeah. Whether it's women or, I say, women are still the largest minority. So we make it better for them in this state. It makes it a lot easier for other communities, diverse communities, to follow too.
Do you know, this may not be a question you can address really, but how does this state compare to other states? Are we about